Is there a compilation in your collection where you actually own every single hit off the comp or an album or whatever it is? Um, I can say I can do that for this album behind me, this compilation, this Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Greatest Hits, which came out in '93. I have every hit on 45 7-inch single on this album, and as well as the later variation which came out, I think 2008. This came out. It is identically the same track listing as the '93 version, track for track, as as this one. But yeah, as we go into it, I'll show you a few other variations which do stray away from the vinyl release on a different format, slightly different track listings on the CD versions. But sticking to the vinyl one, let's start off with the first track on the back being American Girl. So this is basically pretty much all in track order as both albums are, because they're both the same. So the first track being American Girl, which I own a 7-inch copy of. This came out in 1977. Next track being Breakdown. I have this, I think it's a French copy. It's the only one I could come across, which was relatively cheapish. So yeah, Breakdown, French copy from the debut album. Third track, sorry, Anything That's Rock and Roll, which is his very first track, which came out in the UK, I believe. His first hit was a UK hit. I'm not sure where it was in the charts. I don't think it charted too well, but it certainly made the top 40, possibly in the top 30. So yeah, Anything That's Rock and Roll, and it's probably one of my favourite hits of his. So yeah, the year was 1977. The next one, Listen to a Heart. I have this copy of. The next track, I Need to Know. A 7-inch copy of that one. Refugee, one of his big hits and one of his bests. So yeah, I do have a copy of this, and I have a picture disc version as well, which I'll show a bit later. But the rare one, the one which many people don't have in their collection, which I have as of a couple of weeks ago, which is Even the Losers. So yeah, I managed to get a copy of this. Without this single, I wouldn't be able to do this particular video. So yeah, not only it's a rundown of all the hits of those compilations, but it's basically all the complete collection here I'm showing. So this is the rare one to get. It's not easy to get. So I believe it's a limited edition single, so there's not many of them around. The next track, Here Comes My Girl. So yeah, moving into 1978, I believe. The next track, The Waiting. So it's a bit of a jump into 1981. The next track, You Got Lucky. The next one, Don't Come Around No More. And this was 85. B-side is Trailer. The next one, I Won't Back Down. 1989. Running Down a Dream, I believe produced by Jeff Lynne. That's that Jeff Lynne sound. As well as the Full Moon Fever album he was involved in as well, and also have Free Falling. The next track, Learning to Fly, 1991. Into the Great Wide Open, one of my favourites. Have this one, and this one is probably the rarest, most hardest one to get, I would say. Not particularly cheap, I don't think. And that's Mary Jane's Last Dance. Came out in 1993. It's not a picture sleeve; it's just a generic one. But glad to have it in the collection. It's immaculate condition, beautiful. And the B side, The Waiting. Quite often or not, the B side, The Waiting is quite a frequent thing on a B side on Tom Petty's records, on the singles. I've noticed a few of them have The Waiting as a B side. But yeah, glad to have that in the collection. So the special song on the album, I believe Tom Petty had a contract where if he was going to release his next two singles, whatever they were, he had to do a special greatest hits album, which he didn't particularly want to do, but he ended up doing the greatest hits because he was contracted to do it. And I believe this was one of the singles of that compilation. So, and it's not particularly a very good one. It's a cover of Something in the Air, but it's okay. It's all right. So, yeah, there you go. That is every hit of the greatest hits compilation. As you see, it ends. The very last track is Something in the Air, as well as the later issue as well on vinyl. So track by track, these are the same, except for the CD versions. So we have the 1993 CD versions, greatest hits, and there are two tracks which are different on here. This has 19. The later variation, 2008 greatest hits, has 17 tracks. So this has two less than this one. So the difference being then, Something in the Air is taken off this. This doesn't contain Something in the Air. Also, it doesn't contain anything that's rock and roll. So those two tracks, Anything That's Rock and Roll and Something in the Air, are off this variation. But instead, you get Stevie Nicks' song, which is this single, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, which is a great Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks song. Fantastic. So you do get that on this version, but it sacrifices two other songs, Anything That's Rock and Roll and Something in the Air. But I think Something in the Air was a bit of a kind of a novelty song anyway. It's not really a big deal, but there you go. But the rest of my collection, if you're interested, if you're still watching, I have another copy of Don't Do Me Like That, which is like a limited edition, and it's just two disc set. The second disc is all like live recordings from in London, and it's all right. It's quite good. Like special edition there. So I wanted that. I also had the Refugee picture disc, and B-side to this is Insider, which is the other Stevie Nicks song. This is fairly recent release, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Nowhere and Surrender. This came from the album Damn the Torpedoes. It had a few extra songs which didn't quite make the album, which then got released on single around about, what was it? I can't remember the year. It's fairly recent, and in the last 10 years or so, this came out. I think these two songs also feature on the deluxe version of Down the Torpedoes as well, which is on CD, and you can get them on there as well. We also have You're So Bad, Tom Petty. Tom Petty, Facing the Crowd, great song of his. We have Too Good to Be True, All Mixed Up. I have A Woman in Love, It's Not Me. Also have Change of Heart. I have Straight Into Darkness. And I have Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Stevie Nicks, Needles and Pins live. It's a live song they did together with Stevie Nicks. So yeah, it's when they come up with that live album around about that time. It was 86, around about then. When I'd done that Greatest Hits live album. Make It Better, Forget About Me. We also have So You Want Me to Be a Rock and Roll Star. And also Jammin' Me. So there you go, that's my complete singles collection on Tom Petty, and I'm pretty sure that is every single on 7-inch vinyl that there is. If there is something else out there and I don't have it, apologies, I'm just not aware of it. There may have been something from the soundtrack he did around about, was it 96, which I've seen on 7-inch single. I can't remember what the song it was, but I don't have that one. So yeah, maybe I don't have all of them after all. I think there was something out there on that soundtrack I don't have, but I've never seen it again, and I've forgotten all about it. So yeah, maybe it's not a complete collection. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe there's one or two out there which I'm just not aware of, or they're so hard to get. I know there's some Mudcrutch stuff as well, which I don't own, which I'd like to get my hands on, but they're quite expensive. But regarding Tom Petty, that is probably 95% of all the singles there, at least. So yeah, one of the albums I have, the compilation, I have a full track listing of songs on 7-inch singles. So there you go. Can you do that? Can you do that to an album? Is there an album out there where you have every single for? I think like there might be some smaller kind of greatest hits albums which could be doable. Maybe like Wings' Greatest. That might be doable for some of you. I'm sure maybe there's something else. Whatever you can do. If you're interested in taking up this challenge, go for it. It took me a while to gather these 7-inch singles. So see what you can do. Anyway, till next time. Bye for now.